Our next guest has a career in television broadcasting that spanned 3 decades. She's been on pretty much every major news station there is and has covered some of the biggest events in our history. She's now an accomplished author with a new book called Falling into Place. I love this book.
Oh, thank you,
This is
Susie.
Hattie Kauffman. And
Good morning.
Hattie, I've got to tell you, it's a memoir. My 2 favorite memoirs, this is the truth, of all the books I've ever read, is Jeanette Walls in Glass Castle, and then Rick Bragg in All Over But the Shouting. And when I picked up your memoir and I opened page 1, I was in it. And I couldn't put it down. And I tell you, I haven't finished all of it, but I got so excited that I was going to get to talk to you about your amazing life and your tough life, your roller coaster ride with family, Native American, first Native American journalist. I mean, all the things, and a divorce that almost put you under.
Yeah, those words that, boy, they stick in your head.
Where
I just
do you
settled
begin?
For you. No wife ever wants to hear that.
You were
where
married 17 years. 17 years, and he just walks in and says, what?
I'm no longer committed to this marriage. I've never been committed to this marriage. I just settled for you. There you go. That's where the book starts. But that sense of propels me to go revisit the childhood. And so there is some peace and some grace and some good that comes out of this. I don't want people to think that it's merely violins playing.
No,
and
it's
hard
not like
time.
that. No, it's not like this at all. It's not sorrowful. It's shocking. Some of it is shocking the way you were raised as a child. I mean, riding in cars, not having anything to eat, being on the run, on the road all the time. But look at you.
Oh, thank you so much.
In spite of it.
Yes, that's why it's called a memoir of overcoming, and I hope that it inspires some people who read it.
Yeah, this is not just a tell-all book. This is a way to show how we can, all of us who have problems, if we look at what's positive about it, we can overcome.
Well, you mentioned some of those memoirs you liked. I remember when Angela's Ashes came out in the early 90s, I thought somebody else had a childhood like mine because they were so poor. They were in Ireland. I don't know if you remember that movie, that book, which became a movie by Frank McCourt. My childhood, I hid because I had this glamorous career in television. You know what it's like, and you're interviewing stars, and you have makeup and hair.
Presidents, you've interviewed everybody.
Yes, you're on the red carpet. And yet, I didn't want people to know that I had this extreme poverty in my childhood, and alcoholic or absent parents, and so there was sort of chaos, and we grew up in chaos. However, I think it actually made me stronger.
But you know what? I'm thinking about your life. You've had a life of rejection. You've been accepted in all kinds, but look, all the years in journalism, why would you not still be in it? I mean, really, with your gift, with your knowledge, your experience, and now you're out. Are you looking for a job now?
Call her. She's going to work with my agent.
I mean, really, what happened there? How can somebody like you be out of a job?
Oh, thank you so much. I had a terrific run, 22 years at CBS, 3 years at Good Morning America prior to that, and then I started in local TV in Seattle. And I remember the moment when I thought, am I getting old? I was at a red carpet event, and there were people, the beautiful women interviewing the stars, and I saw one in a super short dress with cutouts, and I thought, is that one of the stars? And I thought, no, she's one of the reporters. And I thought, she's wearing that? And I looked at the next one, look what she's wearing. And I suddenly realized they were young enough to be my daughters. So it's okay that maybe I'm doing something else now. I'm able to write my story. I'm able to tell people how I succeeded, and I talk to youth, and I say, you can do this too.
Are you speaking on the circuit?
I am speaking,
And this is, now, do you not love that?
I do, and I'm meeting people who've read my book, who've been touched in one way or another by it. It might be the divorce, it might be the faith element, it might be childhood, it might be alcoholism, but I'm hearing from people all around America who've been touched, and so I'm getting a different sort of reward than I used to get by writing a really good story and
about
putting it on the air. About somebody else.
Because now this is about, a lot of times when you're a journalist like that, you're living their life, but now you're really living your own, and you've been happily married to a man you met in church. I love this.
There's a happy ending.
I just think this is great.
I handed a Bible down the road, down the road, down the road. No to that guy, no to that guy, over there, that guy. And it finally ended up in his hand, and he turned around and looked like, where did this come from? And people pointed, well, this person handed it to me, this person handed it, and finally it came back to me, and I gave a little wave.
So do you believe God knows your life from the minute you were born?
I do, but I didn't at the beginning. And so part of this story is coming to that place of faith where I realize I was held in God's big hands, even as a hungry, skinny child. And so there is a faith element that helps me get through both the divorce. Yes, it's not, element is such a pitiful word. I mean, it is the giant thread that holds all of these pieces
together.
And that's why I have the title, Falling into Place.
Falling into Place. And it is a memoir of overcoming. I cannot say enough good things about this book, but if you trust me in any way, get it, because it will inspire you. You will pass it on. It is a book about hope and overcoming, and it's not maudlin. It's just riveting. So you can meet Hattie later this week as she signs copies of Falling into Place. She'll be at the shops at Northeast Mall, Barnes & Noble on Thursday. That's April 24th from 6:30 to 8:30. Get a copy of her book and visit a bit with her and have her sign it, because it's a signature that you'll be proud to have in your bookcase. Amy